When V, lovingly known as Taehyung from BTS, went live late at night from his new home, the atmosphere instantly felt different from his usual playful broadcasts. The lighting was soft and dim, the room quiet except for his gentle voice, and there was a certain stillness that made fans feel as though they were sitting right across from him. It wasn't a flashy or highly produced stream, instead, it felt intimate, almost like a late-night phone call between close friends. From the very beginning, his tone carried a mix of calmness and vulnerability, setting the stage for a deeply emotional conversation. He mentioned that he couldn't sleep and decided to turn on the live stream because he wanted to talk to ARMY. There was something honest in the way he said it, as if he truly needed that connection in the moment. Sitting comfortably in casual clothes, hair slightly tousled, he looked both relaxed and thoughtful. He briefly talked about moving into his new place and how it still felt unfamiliar. Even though it was a new chapter in his life, there was a subtle loneliness in his voice that didn't go unnoticed by viewers. At one point, he softly asked, "Isn't it hard for everyone these days?" That single question resonated deeply. It wasn't dramatic or overly emotional, but it felt sincere. He wasn't just speaking about himself, he seemed genuinely concerned about how fans were doing. The world has been heavy in many ways, and hearing him acknowledge that made people feel seen. He paused after asking, reading comments carefully, his eyes scanning the screen as if trying to absorb every message of support and every story fans were sharing. Throughout the broadcast, he alternated between small smiles and long thoughtful silences. Those quiet pauses felt meaningful rather than awkward. It was as if he was reflecting on his own thoughts in real time. He talked about how being alone in a new space can make you think more deeply about life, about relationships, about the people you miss. Even though he didn't go into dramatic detail, the emotions were clear in his soft expressions and gentle sighs. He reassured ARMY that even when things feel difficult, it's important to hold on and take things one day at a time. His voice carried warmth, the kind that feels comforting during late hours when worries tend to grow louder. He didn't try to present himself as perfectly strong or unaffected. Instead, he showed a more human side, someone who also has moments of doubt and longing. That honesty is what made the live so powerful. As the stream continued, he shared small updates about his daily routine, mentioning music, quiet nights, and simple moments that fill his time lately. There was a peacefulness in describing those small details, like he was inviting ARMY into his everyday life. He smiled shyly when fans complimented him, brushing off praise in his usual humble way. Yet, beneath that modesty, there was gratitude. You could see it in his eyes every time he read messages telling him to stay healthy and happy. Near the end of the broadcast, his voice softened even more. After reading a series of comments saying, "We miss you," he looked at the camera for a few seconds without speaking. That silence felt heavier than any words. Then, almost quietly, he said, "I miss you too." It wasn't loud or dramatic, but it carried weight. The sincerity in that short sentence made fans emotional all over again. It felt like a direct confession of longing, not just for performances or stages, but for shared moments and presence. He didn't rush to end the live. Instead, he lingered, as if he didn't want the connection to disappear. Before signing off, he gave a small smile and gently said he hopes everyone can sleep well and find comfort, even during tough times. The final, "I miss you," felt like a whisper into the night, leaving viewers with a bittersweet warmth. That late-night broadcast from his new home wasn't about big announcements or exciting news. It was about vulnerability, empathy, and connection. It reminded fans that beyond the global fame and stage lights, there is a person who feels deeply, who worries about others, and who longs for closeness just as much as the people watching him. The quiet setting, the thoughtful pauses, and his heartfelt words created a moment that many will remember not for its scale, but for its sincerity.